All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we are streaming. Checking right now. Checking. And I think we are. We are. Good. Let's see here. What's the weather looking like? Weather looks all right. Chris, I see you. All right, fellas. We are looking good here. Chris, are you in the beta now? Because I see you. That is a fine looking aircraft. I mean, that is a fine looking aircraft right there. Love the look of that plane. So I don't care if we get IMC here or not. I'm going with live weather. So welcome everybody. Try to get all this stuff turned off. Welcome everybody. Connor Scully is back with us. Nailani, Chris is here. We got a whole bunch of people from the looks of things. Good. So I'm gonna set my altimeter the lazy man's way. So everybody, we are in CUBA here. This is we accidentally selected one of the Asobo airports for the for the World Update 16, which is really cool. Peter, thank you, sir. Good to see you again. It's been an hour. All right, let's see. We got external power supply on. Let's go rotating beacon on. We'll go mixtures and props full forward. We will go master and battery switches on. We'll go fuel pumps on. We will go fuel valves open. What else are we gonna do? We are going to go mags on left. Nope, mags on left. No, I've been flying the 737 so much the last couple of days. I gotta remember how to start this plane. All right, we'll go toes on the brakes. Take a look outside, make sure there's nobody out there to kill or maim, and there is not. And we'll start the right engine first. Good start. Oil pressure is looking good. Left engine clear. Whoopsie, that happens all the time. Go left engine start. Good start. Oil pressure is looking good. We'll go mags to both. Close the starter cover. Let's bring the manifold pressure back here a little bit. Fuel pumps off. Check the fuel pressures. Those are looking good. Now let's turn the avionics master on. We will lean the mixtures for taxi. Chris Loach. Really? That's weird. That is weird. Transponder squawk altitude. And let's see. I got a couple planes. I think. No, just me and Chris. So far, just me and Chris. Sam Koopman was watching your video on LSFG and noticed you were live. Mainly use the. It depends on what card you've got, Sam. For a GTX card, I would use the lossless scaling, the LSFG. For an RTX card, I would tend to stick with the FSR frame gen. So it really just depends on what card you have. But that said, the LSFG will work just fine with an RTX card. You know, nothing says you can't use it. Let me make sure that I know I'm on. Yeah, I'm on the East USA server. All right, let's turn the external power supply off. Nav and strobe lights coming on. CDI. Don't want VLOC. I want GPS. We're gonna be going westbound here. So, not sure exactly what our heading's going to be, but something west-ish. $2060 FS. I would think. Sam, have you tried it without the frame gen mod and you're still crashing? Or you're able to, if you're able to, the other thing you can do is try like version 0.8 of the frame gen mod and see if that works. Alright, let's release the brakes. And let's get matriculating here. There's an aerocraft. That is looking good right there. That is a nice looking Bonanza. And dude, I don't want to be responsible for your death. I don't want to be responsible for your untimely death. Alright. Well, I guess we'll see what the weather's like, right? I guess we'll see. That's looking like a heading of like a 280 or something like that to me. Alright, let's go. Flaps set for takeoff. We are definitely going to be taking off runway 12. And I've been so jazzed to see this airport because this airport is so cool. Alright, and we've got no traffic. And I swear I put my destination in. How are we looking here, fellas? Alright, let me just check here real quick because my destination is not showing up in MUNG in Atlanta here. Alright. So, we are good to go. 67 driver, what's going on? I don't know. I don't know if the one that just came out yesterday, I haven't really looked at. Alright, we'll go mixtures full forward. Let's go takeoff, landing lights on. This might just be one of those scuzzy kind of days where it's like, Duke pilot, what's going on? Yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am. Don't see any traffic coming in. Yeah, let's go fuel pumps on. Fuel pumps on, flaps are set, mixtures and props full forward. Yeah, that FSR mod from Nukem is amazing. So I'm going to be making a left downwind departure. Guven, what's going on? Is there any fix in Simple 15? No, it's worse. It's worse. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number. We are on center line. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed is alive. But the ground handling is so much better. 70 knots. And let's go commit aviation. I think this is just going to be one of those scuzzy kind of days where it's over open water. It's probably going to be pretty much like IMC 300. We'll wait till we get 400 feet AGL. Let's drop that nose just a little bit. We'll bring the flaps up. Duke pilot, greetings to Medellin. Greetings to Medellin. Bring the props back. We'll bring the manifold pressure back and make our turn. Sam, yeah, give that a shot. You know, sometimes experimentation is the only way to really figure these things out. And there's so many variables it's just, I've said before, like, I'm amazed in some cases that the sim even works, you know? Because there's just so many variables that we have. What a cool, I love flying on days like today. Alright, let's keep pushing the power up in the climb. 1,000 feet AGL, we can turn our fuel pumps off. Let's have a look at the fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are looking good. I'm coming to the conclusion right now, after having flown the 737 this morning, that Duke Pilot, yes, I am. And it's worse with it seems to me to be worse with Sim Update 15. Sometimes they don't happen. They don't happen all the time, but when they do happen, they're terrible, like really bad. And 67 driver, yes sir. Yes sir. I know. I saw you just pulled your message back, but yeah, I am using the Tobii eye tracker. It is fantastic. I really like it. I like it a lot. And I'm not just saying that. I think they did a really nice job with this thing. So we are IMC fellas right now, but I think we're going to get above these clouds here pretty soon. Sure is going to be interesting if we have to make if we have to fly an approach. 287. This is what they refer to in the islands, or what I refer to as Caribbean VFR. No worries, no worries. Yeah, it's the Tobii eye tracker. I use the yeah, we'll get up on these clouds here. I used the Track IR for 12 years, and you would have had a month ago or 2 weeks ago, you would have had to pry that thing out of my cold dead hands. And I still think the Track IR is fantastic. It's just, once you have experienced flying without, head tracking without wires, you just can't go back. You just can't go back. There's certain things you have to do to get to kind of help the Tobii along. Like I use views a lot more in I'm gonna go up to 4,500, see if we get above the clouds. I use views a lot more in like in the 737 and the ATR and things like that. Hey Sam, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that it's helped, and thanks for dropping in. And don't be a stranger. Stick around and hang out with us sometimes. Come fly with us if you want to. We fly every Wednesday and every Sunday, so if you want to join us, please do. Duke Pilot, I have not tried that. I have not. I've heard good things about it, but I have not tried it. Wouldn't surprise me if it's halfway decent. Alright, let's start leaning the mixtures. But like I have to use views to hey Duke, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. You guys are great. It's it is very satisfying. Just the feedback alone is very satisfying. Look how beautiful this is. That is an airplane down there. I mean, I'm sorry, but these visuals are just amazing. They are just amazing. Alright, there's 4,500 feet. Let's pull the throttles back here a little bit. The props back. Let's nudge it over. I mean, my gosh, I'm glad we decided to fly CUBA. I'm really glad we decided to fly CUBA. So, yeah, 67 driver. I was just about to say, and I interrupted myself. Having flown the 737 quite a bit the last 2-3 days. I mean, clearly it's a different experience, you know, it's a different purpose, right? But it's nice to get into this airplane and just fly, you know? Like, put your hands on a yoke and fly. It's really cool. A little bit of aileron trim here. And so they did update, by the way, the water masks. So now we can see all this. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I truly can't believe this is a stock simulator. It's just incredible. I mean, I have no scenery add-ons right now. Look at that. I mean, look at this, the way this water, let's get out here. Look at the way this water, and you've seen, like, have you ever seen, like, especially like the Turks and the Bahamas, like, you see this sort of stuff. And I mean, it's just mind-blowing. It really is. Jason, what's going on? Not sure what we're gonna do. If we're gonna do touch and go, kind of depends on how quickly we get there. You know, I don't know if there's I haven't checked the winds. I don't know if there's a headwind, or should be about a 45-minute flight. But yeah, we flew down from Guven, I don't know the answer to that question. I sort of think they fixed everything, because you know, this is just mind-blowing. These views are just mind-blowing. I sort of think they fixed everything, but I could be wrong. But they definitely fixed the world update areas, and it looks unbelievable. I mean, it's just this is actually potentially the most beautiful place I've seen in the sim yet. Like, period. It's just, I can't even get over this. I should keep cleaning my mixtures though. So, let's see here. And there they reverse, so let's push the mixtures back in. Alright. And I always wind up with like 14 gallons an hour, which it should be less than that, but that's okay. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Can't get over it. Let's get the nose down here a little bit. Alright, what do we got? There we go. Connor, I do. Yes, I do. It's the frame gen mod. I have a 3080 Ti, so I don't have actual frame gen. TFVD, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I would only be doing it for myself if it wasn't for you guys, and it wouldn't be nearly as much fun. So I'm stunned at this scenery. I'm literally stunned at how beautiful this looks. I cannot get over it. You know, Peter, it's kind of unbelievable to me that they haven't. I mean, I would think that they would have spent more time on the Mediterranean before, like kind of prioritized over the Caribbean. Although I'm glad to see that. I clearly, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The head dude there for Asobo. He's clearly a fan of the Caribbean, which is to our benefit. But I can't believe they haven't done, like, I mean, the Mediterranean is, I'm sure, more popular. You know, I would have to guess anyway. Yeah, you know, kind of, it's weird because I mean, there's so many variables that go into simming, you know. I mean, there's so many, like, different software, cards, and processors, and, you know, depending on what else you do with your computer, you might have other programs running, there might be stuff running in the background. There's so many variables, it's really hard to kind of, like, I have had zero problems from day one with this computer. This computer has just run, like, unbelievably well since day one. And I know people who have the same hardware as I do and have nothing but problems. So I can't really explain it, you know. I might just be lucky rather than good. You never know. Jeez, Duke, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, I think people also don't realize how great, like, Colombia has a lot of really amazing coastline as well, Caribbean coastline. And I have a sneaking suspicion we've got a pretty stiff headwind right now. Let's take a look outside. Who's with us? Alright, that's probably Chris and Trail in the DC-3, I would imagine. And we had a bonanza somewhere out here. Man, this scenery is just amazing. Mishko Blue, what's happening? What is happening? It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, Nailani, that could very well be. I mean, the good news is we've got about another week until the beta is official, and then our problems are over. I think they said the 26th. So we've only, well, it's probably going to be Tuesday, right? They always do Tuesdays. Next Tuesday is the 26th. There you go. So I'm guessing that's probably what's going to happen. Let's see here. Yeah, we've got some traffic in tow here. Captain Matt is with us. Chris Loach in trail. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get back for the third time. Yeah. Yeah, dispatcher, it can be a mystery sometimes. Look at this. I am absolutely stunned at this scenery. How good this is. Unbelievable. Bernardo! What's going on, Bernardo? How are you? So cool to see you. Bernardo is one of our cherished scenery developers in the sim in the Caribbean. He does a lot of freeware, a lot of great freeware airports in the sim in the Caribbean, and we are indebted to him for that. So there is, I think that's our destination coming up. Let me see here. And I'm a little disappointed, even though I think it's great that they put this airport, this this the Cuban airport that we just left. I think is great. The fact that they put that in the sim, but what's kind of lame is that there are no points of interest in the Caribbean in Cuba, none, zero, unless I'm missing something. So I think that's pretty lame. So now we're starting to do the Microsoft Flight Simulator pitch dance here. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That gets irritating after a while. Bernardo, what have you been doing? I noticed you've been doing some long haul flying lately, which is pretty cool. Once I get my... Well, we'll say, once I get the 777, I think I might do some long haul type flying. We'll see. So I'm using the Mishko Blue. I'm using the Little Nav Map. Somebody put together this great thing on Little Nav Map that shows all of the different points of interest for the second for World Update 16, and they don't have anything listed in Cuba. Maybe they missed it. I don't know, but they've got some in the Bahamas. They've got some. I just don't see anything in Cuba, which is too bad. Of course, I suppose I could look. See how this... Yes, Bernardo, the water masks look unbelievable. Look at that. I mean, look at these water masks. They're unreal. They look so good. See this? How the plane is just pitching up and down and pitching up and down. It's just so annoying. Oy, oy, oy. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find the list. Managed to just kill my microphone right before I sneezed. Alright. I haven't been down to Guadeloupe in a couple days, and maybe a week or so. So I'm not sure, but I think they were good in Guadeloupe, weren't they? Or no? What can I do to get this plane to stay nose down here? Alright. World Update 16. Let me see. I'm trying to find the list of... Here we go. Now they've got no... They have no points of interest listed in CUBA, which is more than a little disappointing. Andrew, I would like to see Jukua Castle. I've got until about 5 o'clock, so I've got another hour. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it to our next airport in an hour, but we'll try. So I've got until about 5 o'clock. This is the short answer to your question. It's gonna help if I go in the right direction. Jukua Castle in CUBA is in. Oh, it's probably there from before the sim update, or before the world update. Let's see where it is. Oh, okay. That's actually back in the other direction from which we just came, which is kind of a little bit of a bummer because I would have liked to have seen it. I was thinking about going around CUBA. Counterclockwise too, because that way the island would be on our left the whole time, and so we could see it. But I'm sort of glad I didn't, because right now the good view is on the left hand side. I'm just starting to let the plane come down here a little bit on its own, because we've got some altitude to lose before we get to where we're going. Let's check out the weather here in MUNG, at MUNG Airfield. Weather. 100 at 7 knots. Variable from 060 to 130. Alright. So, I think we would probably want to use runway 05. I think runway 05 is going to be the one, which I'm basically on a nice, sort of on a right base for right now. Oh, nice. I'll check that out. Mishko Blue, that's cool. I've been having fun looking at the POIs in the update. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun flying the. I enjoy flying the 737, but it's just a different thing, you know. And flying this is just so great. Just absolutely blows me away that this is stock scenery. Just amazing. I almost feel like I don't even have to go to CUBA now. So we're making a nice right base into runway 05, which makes us asocial, because we should probably, well, actually not necessarily. So given that this is, yeah. So this airport has 2 runways, and given that fact, and kind of given the layout of these 2 runways, we should overfly the field and make a left downwind on the other side. Once again, just absolutely stunning. Oh, stunning. Um, hmm. Kind of thinking about subjects in my head that I generally don't touch on it's just it's so unfortunate. Like when you think about what's going on in Haiti, especially, you think about what's going on in a lot of places in the world, and you just think none of this has to be, you know, none of this has to be. People should be able to live in peace and security. And it's just unfortunate the way things are going in so many places right now. I don't know if it's that we have so much more coverage of what's going on in the world, or if the world truly is going mad. But you know, I sit here in my small upstate New York city and hang out in my office, flying an imaginary airplane in a pretend world, and just enjoying life. And not everybody gets to do that. It stinks. So we got a hill over there. Saw a great documentary on Cuba. Forget what it was called. But it was this guy. He was a documentary filmmaker, and he went to Cuba starting in like the 1960s, I think. And he went out into the countryside and met these two brothers who were like farmers basically. And oh, Connor, that's awesome. I am of Irish descent. I spent about 4 months in Galway about 25 years ago. It was a good time. Where in Ireland are you from, Connor? But this guy went back like every 5-10 years for like 4 decades, and he would go back and see these brothers. And this is not a a shining example of navigation here. And he followed these two brothers for like 40 years. Might have been more than that. I'm sure it actually was more than that, because he kept going right up until like, I think they died in like the mid 20 teens at like 90 something years old. And props back here. And it was just interesting to see. I like to travel. I like to see the way other people live. I like to see what life is like. I don't like to go to places like a lot of people go and they'll stay at a resort, and you'll have your swim up bar and all that stuff, and you're fenced in and kept away from the rest of whatever's going on, and I don't really like that sort of stuff. I like going and seeing what people do in their everyday lives. Otherwise, why would you go visit, And I would love to go to Cuba. I guess is what I'm sort of getting at in a roundabout way. I would love to go to Cuba. I would love to go to Haiti. Okay. I'll tell you a funny story, Connor. I was, how old was I? 20, 21, 20, 21, somewhere in there. maybe 22, and flew from New York to Dublin, and I was staying in a youth hostel in Dublin for a couple days, and got to Dublin at like noon. Got to the youth hostel at I probably got to the youth hostel at like noon, and dropped my baggage, and I made a beeline for the nearest establishment that I thought might be able to serve me up a fine Guinness. And I literally walked into the first bar that I saw, and it was this gorgeous. It had like it had to be 100 feet long. This absolutely gorgeous oak bar, and it was packed. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was packed. There was tons of people there. You know, at lunchtime, roundabout, and I elbowed my way up to the bar, and I look left, I look right, down the bar each direction, and I swear, every single person in that bar was drinking Budweiser, and I about fell over. What God, 350 people doing? I mean, literally every single person in the bar had a Budweiser. I thought maybe I'd gotten on the wrong plane. So where's this? Oh, there's the airport. Yeah, really nice flying, Mike. Okay, let's go mixtures full forward. Alright, we'll bring the power back here to 15. It's the problem with talking and flying at the same time. So we'll go. We'll overfly the field here. No, I don't want to do that. Although, that does have its uses. Yeah, I swear to God. I swear. I could not believe it. So what are you people doing for crying out loud? Alright, let's get in under 115. Alright, first notch of flaps. Let's go fuel pumps on. Well, we're not gonna. No, we're not doing that. Not doing that. Some trim in here. Yeah, I was mystified. Here's something fun we can do. Let's try something fun. As we get right over these 1,000-foot markers, I am going to yank the power, and we're going to see if your hero, that being me, can make the runway without power. Yeah, you know, we drank Murphy's when we were there because it was like 50p cheaper than Guinness, and we were college students and we were broke. Alright, I'm gonna go props full forward. Yeah, we need to start. See, one thing would help is if I knew what best glide was in this airplane. That would certainly help. Then you want to keep your flaps. I don't know if I'm going to make it. You want to keep your flaps up until you, not up, I mean I've got them somewhat down, but until you're sure you can make the runway, which I don't know if I'm going to. Oh, we might make it. Might help if I let the rudder out. And we're gonna live. He says going into an accelerated stall. Alright, put it down right in center line. How about that? For no power? How about that for no power? Let's leave the mixtures. Put the flaps up. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go touch and go? And just get out of here? Probably, right? Trying to see where everybody else is. Yeah, I think we should go touch and go and just get out of here. So otherwise we might not make it to our next airport. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Let's go flaps. To takeoff. Yeah. Because if this airport were more interesting, I would be tempted, but it's not really that interesting. Alright, takeoff power is set. Let's go 70 knots. And let's commit aviation. Alright. That's a valuable skill to have. You know what I should have done? Oh, here we go. We got more joining the crowd, I can see. What I should have done is flattened out the props. That would have given me less drag. That would have been much better. Alright, let's drop the nose here a little bit. Get some speed. Get some flaps up. Nice. Nice. We got another Islander in trail here. Alright, now let's see, 100 knots for cruise climb. And let's pick a direction here. Let's go direct. MUS. No. What is going on here? MUS. QRS. A. Enter. Enter. Alright, cool. We're actually kind of going in the right direction. Alright. Well, let's see if we can make it in the next 40 minutes. I don't know if we're going to make it. We'll see. We'll see. Ein Dummkopf. Das glaube ich doch gar nicht. Das kann doch nicht wahr sein. Kannst doch nicht dumm sein und meine Streame angucken. Das kann nicht wahr sein. I have a problem. I bought MSFS Deluxe on Steam to download, finish, and jump back to it. No. I know there's all kinds of weird download problems. That one I don't know about. I think I'm going to stick here right here at 3,000. So we'll go 50 feet below our cruise altitude, pull the power back, nudge the nose over, and let's head for Cuba. Let's head for fair shores. Don't know quite how long this part of the flight is going to take. Might take around about the same amount of time that one took, so we should be alright. Hey, Mike Coffee, what is going on? Probably heading a 010 is going to do the trick here. Keep getting these ads for ladies' underwear, which is kind of weird. Ja, kein Thema. Ja, ich weiß nicht, was da abgeht. Ich meine, es gibt doch eigentlich ganz schön viele Download-Probleme, aber ich weiß es nicht. Und außerdem mit Stream kann ich mich nicht so gut aus. Ich hoffe, dass du eine Lösung dafür findest. adjusted your CG. Yeah, CG's important. CG's important. Alright, heading about 0.15, I think is going to do us well. And what have I done? I have left my fuel pumps on. What else have I done? Hans Boone! It's been a couple days. What's going on? Clean these mixtures out. I speak German. I'm not actually German. I'm pseudo-German. Fake German. I think the reason why I like... It's so funny because the Germans are great. Like, they just find the simplest way to do things, and that's how they do them. Like, when you watch Emmanuel's streams, Florida sent you to Dubai, and you could not fly. So, oh, I gotcha. So you're in Dubai right now? That's kind of wild. But when you watch Emmanuel fly, 737NG driver, now known as A330 driver, when you watch him fly, everything is organized and done at the same time, in the same order, in the same way every time, but not in a way that's like unthinking, you know what I mean? Like you can... Oh, okay. Now that makes sense, Hans. So that's why you're joining us. Nice. But he doesn't do it in a way that like... you know what, Hans? I think it's because I'm in the beta. I think that might be why. Let me see who I've got on Valanta right now. Chris is just off the field there. Hope we get a little better winds here on this way. But like you can do things in a way that's like rote the same way every time without having the ability to kind of adjust when you need to. And he's not like that. I enjoy flying. I enjoy watching him fly because he flies like I aspire to fly. Yeah, I saw there was another Islander there for a little bit, but it seems to have disappeared. Yeah, Hans, that's. I was saying earlier that the beta will be no longer a beta in what 6 days, 4, 5, 6 days, whenever they release it. Can be early next week, I think Tuesday probably, and then we'll all be back together again. So this should be our last. Well, Sunday will probably be our last group flight without everybody being on the same page, as it were. Nice. You seem to be making good time here, because I've got somewhere to be at 5:30. I'm actually meeting one of our compatriots. I gotta meet a Z-Sim pilot for some things at 5:30. So I gotta be ready. There is CUBA. Yeah, Mishko Blue, he's really good. He's very good. And Hanzi, I don't think it was too bad. I think it was like, I think it was only like 9 gigabytes. I really don't think it was too bad to download. ETA, we are probably 15 minutes off of MUNG, and probably, I don't know, hopefully like a half hour from MUSA, and then we will be in Cuba itself, Cuba proper. Here's Chris, I'm sure. Buena Vista Social, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I would love to go to Cuba, but my girlfriend's Venezuelan, so I will never go to Cuba. Because the Venezuelans and the Cubans don't really, I mean, they do get along, it's just the government doesn't get along, so. Well, the government does get along, that's kind of the problem, but hey. Yep, Islanders survived the beta just fine. Islanders flies perfectly fine in the beta. It's good stuff. I should probably turn the frame gen mod off and see what kind of performance I get. Hans, yeah. But usually what it is, it's usually like, I don't know how it works, but it's usually like it's usually compressed, so that when you download like 4 gigabytes, 4.5, and then it decompresses. Chris. I think this one's not too bad. So, we seem to be making good time towards MUSA, the ironically named airport MUSA. They're Islander then in tow. So that would be Jason, who's in tow, which is good. AA flight earlier was great, really good. Had a nice landing into Grenada. Yeah, I was saying before, like, so Chris, they must really model that thing very, very well. I mean, it must be really, really modeled well, which is encouraging. You know, if it's got all like the potential carb ice and engine problems and stuff that you're talking about. But yeah, we had a good flight into Grenada earlier. But I was saying before about how, like, I really enjoy flying the 737. But I tell you, once you get in this plane, it's nice to have your hands on stuff all the time. You know, it really is. Nice to have the airplane in your hands. Check our fuel pressures are good, oil pressures are good, oil temperatures are good, cylinder head temperatures are good. Gyro suction is fine. That's right here. Gyro suction provides provides vacuum power for your attitude indicator, your heading indicator. Your turn coordinator is electric because if you lose your vacuum power and you lose these two instruments, you can try keeping yourself straight and level with your vertical speed, your altimeter, sort of your airspeed indicator. You don't really use that as much, but then the turn coordinator is a very poor man's attitude indicator, in that you can see when you're turning which way the ball is going and which way the needle's pointing, and you can use that to try and keep yourself, and use these four to try to keep yourself upright if these two die in the clouds, of course. In vertical or in visual conditions, it doesn't matter. Let's see, I want to try other planes like the Islander, but I can't stop flying the Comanche. Yeah, you know, I feel like the same way about the Islander. I would like to try other planes, but I just love the Islander so much. You know, Jason, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. So, we're making good time here, it looks like. Making pretty decent time. So let's see here. We're making good time. I think we're easily going to be there by top of the hour. Into the Blue simulation says the Islander is good, but yeah, they are better, but it is quite okay. I think it's. Gosh, look at this. I mean, and look, I just love the silhouette of that. The hills over there. Depends on what you're flying, Andrew. If you're flying, I mean, the big thing for general aviation, if you're flying a single engine airplane, the one thing depends on whether you're flying day or night. If you're flying at night, you really want to take any other risk factors out of the equation if you can. A really good plan for flying at night is to fly along highways. Believe it or not, because if something goes wrong, you've got somewhere to land. Like fly along like interstate highways. The stupidest thing you can do, like the worst flight planning for single engine GA planes, is pressing the direct button and just going straight to wherever you're going without, and people do it all the time. I see people, like I watch Flight Radar 24. I have it on my phone. I have a subscription to it so I can see it like wherever I am in pretty good detail what is flying above me. And I see it all the time. You see single engine planes flying in a straight line for several hundred miles in sort of not good weather, and there's like north and south of us, there's mountains around, and like I would gladly take a much longer trip if it mean like, you know, if the weather's not that great or if it's at night. I would much rather take a longer flight that goes over lower terrain and goes along a highway. Like, for example, let's just pretend that this is actually, no, this is perfect. Let's pretend there's no water here, and there's mountains right here. Okay, let me hold my headset steady here so I can show you a little bit better. Whoops. So let's pretend that there's mountains along this straight line and there's no water here. And let's pretend there's a highway that goes from here to here and from here to here. And I want to go from this airport to that airport. And my choices are going straight over, like, you know, hilly mountainous terrain, or going along this highway like that. I'll go along the highway every time. Particularly if the weather's not that good, or if it's at night. Because there's one of my favorite sayings in aviation is put all the odds in your favor. Because you have to flight plan with the assumption that something's going to go wrong. If you flight plan and assume everything's going to work out the way you hope it does, you're putting yourself in a tough position if something goes wrong. You know, and a lot of pilots will disagree with me. You know, a lot of pilots, you know, oh, the engines today are super reliable. Yeah, they are. You know, they are very reliable, but I can't tell you the difference in mentality. The biggest difference in mentality between sim flying and real flying is that in real flying, you know there are consequences if something happens, and having one engine gives you a lot to think about. You know, if the engine in your car quits, you pull over to the side of the road. If the engine in your plane quits, you know, it can really ruin your day. You know, so really, the big things to consider are number one, weather. I don't know if number one or number two. Number one, weather. Number two, terrain, or the other way around. Depends. But the most important thing is just mitigating risk. That is the biggest thing, is mitigating risk. I almost put myself in an emergency one time. When I was a student pilot. So one of the other things that they say is don't ever like press a button or pull a knob without looking at it and verifying what it is. And I was flying my Cherokee on a cross country when I was a student pilot, and I got up to my cruising altitude, which was 3,000 feet, and my airplane only has the throttle and the mixture, and got up to 3,000 feet, went to start pulling the throttle back to, you know, just to lower the RPMs, pull the power back a little bit for cruise power, and I'm pulling it back and nothing's happened, and I'm pulling it back and nothing's happened, and I'm like, oh, it's weird, and I keep pulling it back, and then all of a sudden the engine starts coughing. Well, what I had done, I had grabbed the mixture, and instead of pulling the throttle out, I was pulling the mixture out. Yep. And the funny thing about flying is when somebody can tell you something, like somebody can give you like a good piece of advice, but and you might forget it, but I will never forget that lesson, because I mean, and I just jammed the freaking mixture back in, and the engine roared back to life. But I mean, I was over kind of hilly terrain. I would not have had a good place to land if I had somehow managed to kill the engine and not be able to restart it, I would have been in a bind. Yeah, you know, I mean, but I mean, other than that, not really. You know, I think that was probably the closest I've ever come to doing something dumb in an airplane. I'm a pretty cautious pilot. I'm a pretty cautious pilot. Yeah, Connor, I can totally believe that. I can totally believe that. Andrew, I was in a plane one time in the back seat with a couple guys from my airport. We had gone and dropped my plane off at another airport for some repairs. And they flew down next to me and were flying me back. And they did some pretty dumb stuff that day. We took off out of it was the same type of thing I was talking about before. It was exactly the same type of thing, actually, that I was talking about. Like, we could have gone this way and this way. So we take off, and where we're going is that way, basically. And the weather up here is perfectly clear, and the weather this way was cloudy and mountains. But it was straight to our destination. But what they could have done is just gone that way, where there's no clouds, and it would have been a longer flight by 25 minutes, maybe half hour. Just go in one direction and then make a left and go to our destination. But instead, they tried to out-climb the clouds and the mountains, and we wound up kind of in and out and around the clouds, over top of mountains, and we were not VFR, really, for sure. And there was just no reason for it. I was not too happy that particular day, because I was sitting in the back. I had no say in the matter. I was not particularly happy about that decision making. And all it was to save 20 minutes. Save 20 minutes and kill yourself in the process. You know? I was like, that would be me, Jason. Or no, Chris. So you might be at Jason's 5 o'clock, and Jason might be at my 5 o'clock. But yeah, I mean, the most unreliable piece of equipment in the airplane is the pilot. It really is. Hey, anytime, Andrew. I love talking about stuff like that. I can talk about stuff like this all day long. And there, I think that's our airfield right there. I could literally talk about stuff like this all day long. Yeah, so runway 624. And this is the scene. Back in the day when me and my dad were taxiing into the runway and heard a clunk in the noise, leaned forward and found out we hit a rut in the airport. Oh, okay, yeah. Taxiing in. Were you in low vis conditions? But Connor, yeah, I can totally imagine that that flying in Ireland is tough. You know, flying here is tough. Where I am, we get a lot of, especially in the winter, we get a lot of cloudy days. But Andrew, any type of questions you have about stuff like that, just shout, man. I'm happy to talk about this stuff. Love talking about. I talk all day about aviation. So this is where, in Octopussy, he flew the little white jet, the little single-engine jet. Roger Moore. And it's funny, I've flown to Havana a bunch of times in the 737 as well. I really enjoy actually doing that flight. And let's go, fuel pumps on. Mixture's rich. And Cuba somehow always has this sort of weather. I don't know why. I don't know why. But there's a download on, there's 2 downloads on flightsim.to. that you can download to recreate the scene of the ICAO for this one is MUSA, which is kind of a funny funny one for Cuba. Alright, let's get rid of some airspeed here. And we'll get back into 115 so we can put some flaps in. This will be perfect because I'll be able to do a little bit more work and then I'll be able to go see some pilot. Alright, make a downwind here. Make a left downwind. No, I'm gonna hang it up after this one, Andrew, because I've got a few things to do today, this afternoon, or this evening, I guess. Kashif Collins, no, you can join with whatever you want to fly. You can join us whatever you want to fly, my friend. Whatever makes you happy. And Kashif, if you want, there's a Discord channel that is linked in the links section of my YouTube channel, and we fly every Wednesday afternoon, like late afternoon, like now, and then we fly on Sunday afternoons, and we're just doing a big lazy tour of the Caribbean. We're now flying around Cuba, so you are more than welcome to join us. Alright, I think we're looking pretty good here. Bombasso is back with us. So Kashif, feel free to join us. We'd love to have you. Alright. Let's see here. Okay. We'll go full flaps here. This is kind of a roundabout approach. It's kind of a lazy approach is what this is. This is, go props full forward, mixtures props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. And turning final about 500 feet. We're going to need some power here. 80 knots is good. Alright. Some trim. This is kind of sloppy. That's a little better. Trim is your friend. Trim, trim, trim to your heart's content. Alright. A little bit of a left to right crosswind here. Let's see if we can pull off a nice crosswind landing. Power coming out. Power coming out. Power coming out. Power is all the way out. And a little bit of right rudder, a little bit of left aileron. Not too bad. Not too bad. Gotta lean the mixtures for taxi. Put the flaps up. Alright, I think. Let's see here. Where do we go? I guess we'll go. We'll go over here. Let's go over here. Alright, so. I'm gonna spin it this way so I can see the approach end of the runway. Alright. Throttles to idle, mixtures idle, cut off. Let's set parking brake and lights coming off. Avionics master coming off. Mags off. Master and battery switches off. And my iPad has frozen. My iPad has frozen. So let's see if we got anybody else coming in here. We have got, let's see. Right, yeah, we've got some more traffic coming in here. Yeah, a couple more traffics coming in. We got Mr. Bridgman coming in. 420 Julia Echo. And we got Chris Loach coming in. So let's open the window. Get some cool air in here. Well, it's probably not cool air, is it? Boarding steps and chocks. Come on, chocks. There we go. Now let's open up our doors here. Yeah. Frozen iPad. That is a nice landing right there. That is a nice landing. Yeah, Kashif, this is the Tobii eye tracker, yeah. See here, somebody asked before about the grass bleed through for DX12. Yeah. This is what it looks like in Sim Update 15. It's terrible. About 25C, we just departed both of us on scene, heated our feet and lifted the temperature. Oil temperature was in the red. Yeah. That's there's Chris Loach making a beautiful approach and landing. Awesome. So we got some of us on the same server, which is good stuff. This is a huge airport. This is a huge airport. This is actually perfect timing. So I was hoping to get done right now. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's Connor, that sort of stuff is scary. Jeez. Let's see here. Andrew, really appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. We were on East. I'm always on East. Yeah, so this is the thing with the DX12 bleed through of the tiles. It looks pretty bad, and it's worse in Sim Update 15. Wilbur, what's going on? We just pulled in. So, gentlemen, this was a great flight. This is a really good flight. I want to see kind of where we are here in Cuba. I'm sort of tempted to maybe go. I don't know. We'll see. We can talk about it in the Discord about where we want to go next. I mean, Cuba is huge. I wouldn't mind flying around the whole island, but we'll discuss that in the old chat here. Let's see what my landing was. 237 feet per minute. That's not so good. I will say hello to Z-Sim Pilot for you. Jim, it was a good time, always. Hey, Mike, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Jason, you are off my left wing. It's sort of see-through, but you're there. Kasha, that would be wonderful. Oh, nice, Dominica. That's one of my favorite. Oh, Kasha, you got to join us. Join the Discord, please, because you're our kind of guy. We've got a lot of people from the islands, and we have a good time flying around. And you are from the island with one of my favorite approaches. I absolutely love the approach into Melville Hall in any airplane. It's just a great place to fly into. Okay, Jim, cool, nice. Yeah, I hope hopefully the beta is doing well for you. And Hans, thank you for the flight. Thank you for the flight. I appreciate you coming and joining us. Nalani, thank you so much. Always good to see you, dude. And yeah, it was a good time. So Sunday, we'll aim for Sunday. Yeah, we Mike, that's when we do them. We usually do them like between 3:30 and 4, depending on what's going on. I did it a little earlier today just because I got this thing going on with in a little bit. Um, but Mike, if I don't know, are you in the Discord? Join the Discord if you're not, and then that way we can all keep in touch. But Chris, Mishko Blue, Connor, Mike, Kashif, Andrew, thanks for coming. Bombasso, good to see you. Mike Coffee, always good to see you, sir. And Jim, Andrew, Wilbur, good to see you as well. Hans, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming along. Jim, awesome to see you. Good to have you along with us again. And that's what I thought, Mike. I thought so. I thought so. Yeah. So that's what we usually do. And it was a good time. Jason, thanks, man. Thank you so much. It's such a cool thing. We've got such great group of people. I enjoy this a lot. I really do. Oh, Cash, if that would be great. We'd be honored. We'd be honored. Like I said, it's a really fun group of guys, and everybody has a good time. So most of all, me. I really enjoy this. So, all right, everybody. Everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll keep in touch in the Discord. And Peter, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Same to you. And appreciate it, guys. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon.